Family Feud this morning at 8 on Fox 14.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, several area businesses have been gearing up for Valentine's Day. That's today, by the way. Fernanda Silva sharing how some shops have been getting ready for the last several months.
Plus, House Republicans have voted to impeach Homeland Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Kevin Cork will share those details.
And for Valentine's Day, it is a beautiful one, albeit a bit on the breezy side. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. on this Valentine's Wednesday
right.
morning, Chiefs Parade morning as well. We want to remind folks that our very own Brock Baldridge and photojournalist Ty Parks will be in Kansas City. Live updates during the KOAM News at noon.
Yes, we're looking forward to that. And I hear people are already lined up.
Oh, yeah, they started
ready to get
like
the
midnight.
best seats.
I mean, shoot, I'm sure some of these folks started on Super Bowl. Like, as soon as they were done celebrating the win, they were like right there. They're like, we're going.
Bibs.
We're going to just sit. We know what's going on. But, of course, it's also the day of love.
It is. And some flower shops in Joplin rose to the occasion as they were getting ready for Valentine's Day. Flower shop owners and employees started planning for their busiest day of the year back in December.
KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
On Valentine's Day week, Judy and Lance Hupai, owners of Hingdon Florist, keep an eye everywhere. The Feast of St. Valentine's is their busiest day every year.
Everyone wants their flowers on February 14th. Mother's Day is also busy, but that stretches out through the whole week. And then Sunday we normally close to enjoy Mother's Day.
On Valentine's Day, closing is not an option. Instead, they work extra hours the day before and think of all the details.
Cannot create the flower arrangements too early because then the roses will all be fully open. You know, we want to make sure that the recipients will be able to enjoy those flowers for as long as possible.
As soon as the day hits, we would like it to go smooth, and for the most part it does, but there's going to be hiccups. People are not going to be home. Sometimes the flowers that we get in from the farms may not be in the condition we want them, so we'll have to make adjustments.
Making adjustments and being flexible is essential for the flower businesses when Valentine's Day is around. At Curly Willow, when they have 50 times more orders than on a usual day, working extra hours becomes part of their routine.
Before Valentine's Day, we definitely spend a lot more hours preparing. We have some gifts that are not flowers, so we definitely get those ready beforehand all that we can. But our hours are extended for us. So we are here earlier in the mornings and later in the evenings.
She says this year they ordered almost 700 roses and had to hire extra staff to accommodate all the orders. But the businesses say love can be spread more often.
We emphasize the fact that Valentine's is actually 365 days a year. If you love somebody, why wait for Valentine's? Just do it any old time.
For next year, Lens also advises buyers to plan ahead.
Valentine's Day is the same day every year. Order early.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
The flower shops also said clients might see flower prices a little bit higher than last year. According to them, red roses are the most popular flowers on Valentine's Day.
All right, and a show of hands, because I can absolutely see, folks. How many of you boyfriends or husbands are shopping today?
A lot of hands out there in the
I'm
audience.
sure there's a lot of hands. I'm sure a lot of you actually shopping now, like your wives or your girlfriends just went to work or wherever, and you're like, okay, now I've got an opportunity. Because I told you, for me, I can't hide anything from Amber.
Yep.
She'll find it, so I have to wait until the last minute. Or
you better hurry, otherwise everything will be all bought out.
Well, it's going to be bought out anyway. That's why I miss Sears. It's another story for another day. Let's talk about that forecast, shall we? Quick look outside. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. And it is looking pretty darn good. I see one stray cloud. One. And it is right where my head is. Right there. That's it. Otherwise, okay, there's a few out there. That doesn't count. It's looking pretty good. MoDOT camera 20th and range line also looking great. I would be willing to bet that half the cars out here, perhaps 3/4, are husbands and boyfriends going, all right, I can go get that shopping done. And by the time I get to it, you guys are going to take everything. So leave a couple of things for me, okay? As we look at temperatures around the region, we should be in the mid-upper 20s. Most of us this morning starting out mid-upper 30s, so about 10 degrees above normal. A few cooler spots, Miami, Grove, Jay, Anderson, for example, back in the upper 20s and low 30s. For our Valentine's Day, though, whether you're doing a lunch, an afternoon meal, or dinner, it's going to be great. Sunny skies, low to mid-60s. Breezy, though, south winds gusting up to 25 miles an hour. Those gusts will increase later tonight, and we have some big changes on the way in the forecast, and we'll talk about all of that in your full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. A reporter for a Kansas newspaper that police raided last year filed a federal lawsuit yesterday against the paper's hometown and local officials, saying that the raid caused her physical and mental health problems. Marion County reporter Phyllis Zorn is seeking $950,000 in damages from the city of Marion, its former mayor, the county commission, and various law enforcement officials. The lawsuit calls them co-conspirators who deprived her of press and speech freedoms and the protection from unreasonable police searches guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. Small businesses in rural Kansas affected by persistent drought will soon receive some help. 6 business resiliency boot camps will be offered in coming months. These boot camps will focus on business and marketing training and will be free for business owners to attend. The first boot camp is planned for March 1st at Neosho County Community College in Chanute. We'll have more details on our website at koamnewsnow.com. Yesterday, the Jasper Newton chapter of 100 Women Who Care donated $3,900 to Camp Childress. Camp Childress helps prepare for leadership through character building. While the camp can always use the funds, these particular funds will go to a specific use.
Well, we've got a real need here at the camp for a number of projects, but this one's focused mainly on finishing up our dining hall bathrooms project. We've got a dining hall that seats over 200 people, commercial kitchen, but restrooms are a little bit short with just one restroom. So we're going to build a 4 individual stall restroom with that money and make it more available to more diverse groups.
Since it was formed in 2018, the organization has donated more than $60,000 to local charities. And there will be a visible solar eclipse in April, and the Creative Learning Alliance is already preparing. Yesterday, the Alliance packed a time capsule aiming to capture the current spirit of our region, the state of Missouri, and our country. That time capsule will then be buried during the Alliance's Solarbration Eclipse Festival.
The kids decided they wanted to build it themselves, and they had some pretty lofty ideas about metal and marble, but what we finally narrowed down to was wood, because that's something we can all accomplish together. And since we're not going to bury it underground, we'll be able to manage it over the years and it won't deteriorate.
Well, probably when we brought in our little mini time capsules, and we got to show everyone what we wanted to put in there.
What'd you have?
Had a whole bunch of pictures of technology and my phone in there.
That means when you have something to say.
The capsule will remain buried until the next solar eclipse is visible in the United States in 2044. Well, it took 2 tries, but House Republicans voted to impeach Homeland Secretary Security Alejandro Mayorkas on Tuesday. Now the Senate must start an impeachment trial. Fox News senior national correspondent Kevin Cork is in Washington with the details.
It was a packed house on Tuesday for a historic vote.
The resolution is adopted.
House Republicans voting to impeach Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas for his handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. Last week, the House's vote failed 214 to 216, but House Majority Leader Steve Scalise is back on Capitol Hill, giving GOP lawmakers a boost in numbers.
Feeling great. It's exciting to be back.
The articles against Secretary Mayorkas claim he willfully refused to enforce immigration laws and breached the public trust. He is now the 2nd cabinet member ever to be impeached. Tuesday's vote falling along party lines as expected, with all Democrats voting against the impeachment and only 3 Republicans voting no.
Everybody's going to be held accountable for how they address what is one of the major crises in our country.
This isn't a high crime or misdemeanor, and that's what impeachment is supposed to be.
The Department of Homeland Security denouncing the impeachment, releasing a statement, reading in part, quote, House Republicans will be remembered by history for trampling on the Constitution for political gain, rather than working to solve the serious challenges at our border. Meanwhile, measures to update border security remain tied up in Congress.
They should focus on that instead of doing another political stunt.
The Senate's trial of Mayorkas is not expected to start anytime soon, and senators could move to dismiss the charges early in the process. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Coming up next, for farmers, calving season is here. Wendy Powell is in studio to share some tips for Wildcat Wednesday.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Half off, only at Casey's.
This morning we have Wendy Powell from the Wildcat District. She's here to show us some tools and tips that will help you if you find yourself in calving season.
Yes.
All right, so I do actually know a little bit about this from my days in Wyoming. It's a unique time of year when all the baby cows are just born.
I know, and they're so cute, but we
Yes.
want to make for sure they stay safe and healthy, and so we have all kinds of things to make sure that happens.
All right, so let's hear. We have a whole table of goodies here.
Yes. So I first want to talk about some of the things to keep in the feed truck. So as we're going out and checking all of our pastures, some of the things that we need as new babies are hitting the ground is ways to identify them. So a tag and its button. And then make for sure that you have the right tagger to go with them, because not all tagging systems are created equal. And so they don't always work together. So make for sure that you have the right system all together that you can grab.
Okay.
And then the other thing to make for sure you have is the way to write down your calving record. So which cow it is, if she had a bull or a heifer, and you can do that with a simple spiral notebook.
Okay.
Have a pen. Actually, have a pencil, because in cold temperatures, absolutely. Cold temperatures, these things freeze up, so pencils are usually more helpful.
Interesting.
They also make fancy little pocket calving records that you
Little
can
pocketbooks.
use year to year. So whatever works for your farm.
All right. Okay. And I know, at least in Wyoming, it's so cold this time of year. So these, ranchers are out there, a bunch of them, all hours of the night, because they have to see if the calf dropped, and so you have to make sure you scoop it up and bring it in. Do you guys have the heating incubators?
We don't on our place, unless we have those Arctic blasts.
Yeah, right?
They can be really helpful for calf sickles. And one way, one way to check if those calves are too cold and if you need to provide that mediation is just a simple thermometer.
Okay.
I mean, this is just one I grabbed out of the little medicine cabinet yesterday, and actually my husband did. And you can use that. It's simple, and that will work on your calves. You want to make for sure that they're not getting too cold before you provide some intervention and get that calf up to a temperature it needs to be.
All right. And so what are some of the other next steps?
Yeah, so after, if you're in the pasture situation, if you've got the calf tagged and you've written down who it is, one thing that my family has been using is a calf catcher to catch the calf, to tag it.
That goes around its neck?
So, no, actually we use it like this, and we hook it around a back leg or a front leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is just an extra part that you can use, like when a cow is in a working chute, and you can use it to mouth her, look at her teeth, things like that. So it's a multi-use tool.
I love that.
We call it a calf catcher. I don't know what the actual name is, but it's super handy.
I like it.
Yes.
And guess what? We are actually going to go to commercial real quick, then we'll do weather, and then we'll come back for the final of everything else you have going on here, because we want to learn more.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
From the moment you call
until you walk, providing the best medical and dental care in the region.
Quality, compassionate.
Quality, compassionate, affordable care.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:18 now on this Wednesday, Valentine's Chiefs Parade Day. It is an excellent day to celebrate, and Mother Nature is going to cooperate with us, aside from the winds today. Our camera, Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. Great view out there, great sunrise, and lots of folks getting their day underway. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking pretty good as well. As we mentioned, the winds are going to be the main issue for us today into tonight and in the first half of our Thursday. Southerly breezes today, gusting upwards of 25, potentially 30 miles an hour into the afternoon. And as we head later into the evening and overnight, those winds are really going to start to pick up. And by the late night hours tonight, we're talking wind gusts 40 to 45 miles an hour, still out of the south, but it's going to be very breezy as we go overnight and even into the first half of our Thursday. Winds now out of the southwest and out of the west. As the system gets closer to us, it's going to bring some changes as well, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Those winds still gusting 20 to 30 miles an hour. But as we head into the afternoon, that system now close enough, the winds have shifted out of the north and east. And the good news, at least, is those winds also begin to calm down across the area a bit as well. Our camera 7th range line looking good. 39 in Joplin right now. Feels like 33 with a south breeze at about 8 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region for the most part still have been above average. We should be mid-upper 20s, and we are in the mid-upper 30s for most locations. Again, Miami, Grove, Jay, Anderson, some examples where it's a little bit colder out there, but still not too terrible for February. As for the rest of today, the morning, we're looking sunny, breezy, 55 by 11 o'clock this morning. That is ahead of highs pushing into the low to mid 60s. And the further south and west you go, the warmer you may be. We're talking possibility of upper 60s for some of us. Otherwise, again, sunny and breezy. Reminder, the winds pick up pretty good late this evening across the area. We'll have a few clouds here and there, and we'll be even warmer tonight, back into the low to mid 40s, so about 20 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. And then we go into our Friday, and that's when we start to see some changes in our forecast. By Friday morning, we're going to have early highs Friday, and then we're going to see showers across the area. And as the morning goes on, temperatures begin to fall, and some of those showers could transform into a wintry mix, maybe even some light snow, especially in the northern half of our viewing area north of I-44. At this point, we're not looking at a lot of snow, but there's that possibility for dusting, maybe upwards of 2 inches, and certainly some slick spots. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. You need to keep an eye on that as well. It is brief, though. By about noon, 1 o'clock, it is out of here on our Friday, and then the warm weather will eventually return. A little cooler tomorrow, mid-50s, low 40s Friday and Saturday, so below average temperatures. A little warmer Sunday, and as we go into Monday and Tuesday, back into the upper 50s and low to mid 60s. So the warm weather again will return pretty quickly. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Welcome back. Wendy Powell is here, and it's another Wildcat Wednesday. So this week we're learning all about calving. So we already did one session just to kind of get the basic overview. Now you're going to share with us things to look for if you need to step in and intervene, right?
That's right, yes. So if there's problems, especially with first calf heifers, you want to make for sure that you know what you're looking for, all the different stages of birth, so that you know when to leave her alone and let her do her job as she was meant to do, or if you need to provide some assistance. So the first thing to have is a good flashlight. That you have extra batteries for, so you know that whenever you're out looking for a female that might be giving birth, then you can find her.
Yes.
So that's step one.
Visibility.
Yes. And then have your phone number to the vet that you have a veterinary client-patient relationship with.
Okay.
So you know that if a female's having problems giving birth, then that's your expert that you can call. And this person needs to be someone that you've worked with, that knows your herd, that knows you a little bit. I also have a number on here for a helpful neighbor. So if
the more the merrier, right? It's definitely not a one-person job. You need help. So
so if you're trying to get a heifer in and you just need some backup help, then that person might be the one to call. So moving on, so if we've got her in the chute or we've got her up in the maternity barn, then maybe we need to restrain her, whether that's in a working chute or just with a halter. Having a rope halter on hand they're just easy to slip on and off. So I'm just going to put all of these things here in my trusty bucket. We always have these around. And this bucket needs to be stored someplace where you can grab it quickly, and it needs to be kept all put together.
All right, got it.
Everything's in there.
Okay. So we got 1 minute left. So give us a brief.
Fast.
Here we go.
An OB glove so that you prevent infection going from you to the cow. OB chain. I want to talk a minute about this, maybe not a full minute. Once you use this thing, make for sure you sanitize it, get it completely dry, and then put it back into a baggie so that next time you need to use it, it's ready to go. Handle for the OB chain. Towels to clean up the area because it's a messy job. If you're not interested in towels, then shop towels, some non-detergent soap and water for lube. This is colostrum replacer. So if you've got a calf that's coming into the world that you're worried about colostrum transfer on, you know, the golden hour, then this is a commercial product to have on hand. And that is how you administer it.
All right.
Yeah.
I love it.
So,
Wendy, thank you. We all learned something here today. Very fun. Thank you for joining us. And be sure to tune in next week for another Wildcat Wednesday. We'll be right back with more news after this.
Welcome to Miss Daisy's Home and Decor, and give your home the makeover it deserves.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:29 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Authorities in Wichita make an arrest in the theft of a bronze Jackie Robinson statue. The statue, stolen from a youth baseball park last month, was found burned and dismantled in a trash can at another nearby park. Wichita police had arrested Rick Alderette earlier this month for an unrelated charge. He was charged for the theft yesterday, and police say there was no evidence of a hate crime, but think that the suspect intended to sell the metal for scrap. Wichita police say it was only the first arrest, and there are more to come. And yesterday was Mardi Gras, the day before many Christian denominations begin the season of Lent. A local nursing home is celebrating with the help of furry friends. Residents at St. Luke's Assisted Living Facility in Carthage enjoyed activities such as bingo and socializing on Fat Tuesday, but things were a little more festive. Instead of a band and floats, it's got cute furry friends passing out licks and beads. And this is the first year that St. Luke's has celebrated Mardi Gras this way. By the way, Lent ends with Easter, which falls on March 31st this year. And a proposal to censure a Carthage City Council member apparently was not a topic at last night's council meeting. You might recall this Carthage City Council meeting drew a packed house last month when the council considered censuring member Tiffany Causey. At that time, the council postponed taking action, saying that the matter would be brought up at the next meeting. However, the issue is not on last night's agenda, and City Administrator Greg Dagnon tells us that the council is working on a settlement for this issue. We contacted Causey yesterday, and she tells us she is still waiting for more information herself. The Joplin Library is focusing less on romance and more on friendship this Valentine's Day. They partnered with Coley's Cookies to host a Palentine's cookie workshop. Folks were able to stop and learn how to decorate cookies like a pro.
Well, we wanted to do something fun in February for Valentine's Day, and people like cookies, and it seems that decorating cookies is something that's become more popular, more trendy, and people are more curious about it.
We decided to come just as an early Valentine's Day thing that we could do together as a couple, and it's been so much fun learning how to decorate a cookie.
Were provided for free, including the heart-shaped cookies attendees decorated. And 20 teams yesterday took part in the Southeast Kansas Youth Basketball and Cheer event. The event, hosted by Special Olympics Kansas, featured a cheer competition and basketball competition. For Special Olympics officials, the event served as another way to spread a lot of joy.
Honestly, it makes me so happy because seeing their reaction of making a basket or making that pass to one of their teammates, it just excites them and it excites everyone in the crowd, and I think it just brings everyone joy and everyone gets excited for them.
Special Olympics Kansas has fun events all year round, and they always welcome volunteers.
And we've got ourselves an absolutely wonderful Valentine's Day lined up. Quick look outside, MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. Plentiful traffic, plentiful sunshine out there as we get this day underway. Temperatures around the region for the most part about 10 degrees above where we should be, as we should be mid-upper 20s. Most of us mid-upper 30s. We do have some cooler spots. Miami, Grove, Jay, Anderson are some examples of that, where it is a bit colder out there, but all of us will get in on warmer weather today. So whether you're doing a lunch or some kind of afternoon activity or maybe even dinner, it's going to be great. We're talking highs in the low to mid 60s out there. Sunny skies, breezy though, south winds gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Those winds are going to increase as we head later tonight into the first part of our Thursday, and we've got some changes on the way in that forecast. We'll look at all of that in more detail here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Enrollment for kindergarten has begun in Joplin. Anthony Saviello shares how Joplin school districts are trying to ease the process for parents.
At Aaron Saxon Associates, our word is our bond. Don't get money for you. Aaron Saxon Associates. It really does cost you nothing to see if we can help.
Joplin School District has begun its kindergarten pre-enrollment. Parents who will have children attending kindergarten this fall can expect to have a list of forms and state-required materials to fill out. KOAM's Anthony Saviello went to Irving Elementary yesterday to see how schools are trying to make the process as easy as possible for parents.
Irving Elementary is just one of 10 Joplin elementary schools getting ready for a new round of kindergartners this fall.
It's that time of year again. We welcome our newest Eagles into the school district, and kindergarten enrollment is kicked off. It is live on our website, and that's joplinschools.org. And parents, we just ask you to go on there, and there's a pre-enrollment piece of that to enroll. And then you'll receive an email with further details that they can finish the enrollment process.
For parents who are having to handle all this for the first time, Irving Elementary Secretary Darla Lee says there's nothing to stress about.
Not to get stressed about it, that it's just simple, basic information, just the normal stuff that you already have, so no need to stress. We have a lot of time. We can get it all here and get them started on time.
Handling hundreds of names every year can be overwhelming, but Darla says she has the full support of her peers and administrators.
We couldn't ask for any better staff or administration here at Irving. Everyone works as a team, helps each other know what information we still need or what the other person needs to help to finish each area. But yeah, I couldn't ask for anything any better.
Despite being one of the busiest times of the year, Principal Adkins says that his focus is always on his students.
Oh my goodness, there's lots of things going on this time of year, and I mean we're a couple months away from state testing, things like that, but we always want to just stay focused on welcoming our newest Eagles to the district.
Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Once parents complete the enrollment process, they'll be able to set up an appointment for kindergarten screening that will take place from March 25th to April 5th. And coming up, we'll share what that means for you.
And we've got ourselves another nice day across the area. We'll take a look at that Valentine's Day forecast when we come back.
The fantastic 4-day sale at Denver Mattress ends soon.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:40 now on this Wednesday morning, and it is a great day for the Chiefs Parade. It is a great day for Valentine's Day. It is a great day just to be outside if you can do so. Taking a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. We've got just a stray cloud or two, otherwise a beautiful start to the day. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline, plentiful traffic now and plentiful sunshine as we get this day underway. Now, winds are going to be the main issue for us today, tonight, and into the first half of our Thursday, but these winds are ahead of some big changes in our forecast. South winds today gusting 25, potentially up to 30 miles an hour, but as we head later into the evening and overnight, those wind gusts really ramp up, and we're talking gusts 40, 45 miles an hour across the area, still out of the south, but nonetheless very breezy tonight, so if it wakes you up, don't worry, we're not under attack. At least we shouldn't be. But that wind is really going to be howling. And it will continue to gust as we head into the first part of our Thursday. But take a look. You see the wind arrows back here underneath Sedan? As they start to circle around, I don't know why my map doesn't put the wind arrows up here like it's supposed to. They're under here. I can't help that. I'm trying to fix it. But the winds are going to start to shift. As the system gets closer, it's ushering in changes. And as we go later into Thursday, the winds calm down. But now look at those wind arrows. The wind has shifted out of the north and northeast across the area. So even though they'll calm down, it's a colder breeze that's going to start blowing in, and that blows in some changes. Our camera 7th in Rangeline looking good. 39. Feels like 33 in Joplin with a south breeze at 8. Again, we should be mid-upper 20s. Most of us mid-upper 30s across the area. There are some cooler spots. I've been kind of highlighting Miami Grove, Jay, and Anderson. They're just this cluster right here where it is a bit colder this morning, but all of us will be getting in on warmer weather as we go through the day. Sunny skies, breezy. 55 by 11 o'clock this morning, ahead of highs in the low to mid 60s across the area, and some of us could even go into the upper 60s with those sunny skies and again the breezy conditions. Winds again will ramp up as we go late tonight into the overnight, and we also stay much warmer tonight, about 20 degrees above normal or nearly 20 degrees above as we go back into the low to mid 40s. And as we head into our Friday, that's when that system is going to actually start to cause some change. We'll have early highs on Friday. They'll be a little bit warmer, and then temperatures fall gradually through the morning. So we start with some showers across the area, isolated initially, and then we'll see more showers. And as temperatures fall through the morning, some of us could get in on a wintry mix, maybe even some light snow, especially north of I-44. So right now we're just looking at a dusting, maybe a couple of inches, but it is something we'll keep an eye on, and slick spots will definitely be possible out there. So again, cooler tomorrow, mid-50s, below average Friday and Saturday, but worry not, this clears out Friday by about noon, 1 o'clock, and then as we head into next week, temperatures warm back up, upper 50s and into the 60s by next Tuesday. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Caitlin now with Consumer Watch.
Well, work passwords could be getting phased out for body scans. Biometrics experts say companies can use facial recognition and other biometric scans to allow access to anything from a parking garage to a work computer. Switching to new technology could replace the need for remembering a badge or a password, but could also cause concerns of how businesses use biometric data. Security experts say biometric data provides more convenient logins as well as added protection for the company. And this Valentine's Day, heartache may not be your biggest concern. Federal agencies are warning of high-tech romance scams on the rise. Scammers aided by artificial intelligence are luring victims online into long-distance love before asking for money or valuables. These types of scams have been on the rise since the pandemic. A report by the Federal Trade Commission finds in 2022, nearly 70,000 people were conned out of $1.3 billion by romance scams. The FBI is urging people to be cautious about what they share online. The agency also recommends doing some background research on a potential romantic interest, including their photos, to see if they've been used elsewhere. And Disneyland employees who perform as some popular characters may be joining a union. The Actors Equity Association says it is looking for represents 1,700 character actors and parade workers at Disneyland, California. The union says it has received more than 30% of needed support from the employees for it to file a representation vote with the National Labor Relations Board. The union already represents performers with the same jobs at Disney World in Orlando, along with various theater actors and stage managers across the country. The Disneyland performers say they are seeking higher pay, a safer workplace, and scheduling transparency. And inflation rose hotter than expected in January, dimming hopes for Fed rate cuts this spring. Fox Business correspondent Edward Lawrence has more.
The latest inflation reading came in hotter than forecasted, making it less likely the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates in the near future. The Consumer Price Index rose 0.3% from December to January. For the year, prices were up 3.1%. The annual increase for core inflation was 3.9%. The numbers are down from recent highs, but economists were hoping for a bigger improvement.
I talk to retailers all the time who say we're not lowering our prices. We're going to keep them the same. The people in America are just stressed with this. This is just crushing our economy.
This latest inflation figure marks a cool down from December's stiffer than expected 3.4% gain, which dampened hopes on Wall Street that the first of 3 interest rate cuts this year could come as soon as March.
Somebody needs to slap the markets in the face and say there is no way they're going to be cutting rates, every meeting from late spring until Christmas. It's just not going to happen.
Housing costs were the biggest driver of inflation last month. Rents rose 0.6% for the month. They're up 6.1% from the same time last year. The price of health and auto insurance also jumped in January, rising 1.4% over the course of the month. The Fed closely watching this report for signs that inflation will come down as policymakers are trying to decide the right time to start cutting rates in 2024. At the White House, Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
And those are our top stories for Consumer Watch. Now let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
You
deserve an escape.
That's good.
While the nation has had some time to process the results of Super Bowl 58, some mental health professionals say you may not be alone if you're still upset about the San Francisco 49ers loss.
Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman takes a look at the psychology behind being a sports fan and why the outcome of a game hits deep for so many.
Super Bowl 58 may be in the past, but Kansas City Chiefs fans are still feeling the rush from their team's win.
I was very nervous and really sweaty, but I got so excited at the end.
As supporters of the San Francisco 49ers are still trying to come to terms with defeat.
So super sad and depressed. Yeah, I really wanted it.
But no matter how you feel,
I'm sad, I'm really heartbroken because it means a lot.
mental health experts say it's not unusual for people's moods to be affected by their favorite team's performance.
People have a very complex kind of sense of their own sense of their identity.
According to Edward Hurt, psychologist at Indiana University, we can form our identity around things like work, religion, and politics, but especially sports.
The big part of our identity is the teams that we root for in our fanship. And so for many of us, it's the hometown team, it's the one we grew up with.
Once we start seeing ourselves represented by a team, Hurt says the connection to the players and whether they win or lose becomes more personal.
Many of us think as fans that also we do contribute, even though we're not out on the fields, our rooting for their team, our support and stuff is integral to their success.
That emotional investment is why Hurt says super fans can feel super bummed when their team doesn't win and vice versa.
By extrapolation, we believe that, well, maybe it is the case that when our team does well, we feel better about ourselves.
Meanwhile, the party still continues for the Chiefs. Their Super Bowl victory parade is scheduled for Wednesday in Kansas City. Christina Coleman, Fox News.
Well, there's definitely no sadness in our part of the country, am I right?
Most of us down here are we know there are some 49ers fans out there.
Yes.
We know that you all are
to that we hope it gets better.
Two times, but each time fantastic games were played. So either way, still you got a great Super Bowl out of each of those occasions.
And an even better parade coming up today.
We certainly do. Live reports from that parade from our very own Brock Baldridge today at noon, and a great day to celebrate the love of your life. Let's take a look outside. This is our camera at the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin, the love of my life. I won't say exactly where she is, but let's just say I can point this camera down and spy on her. I can see if her vehicle's in the parking lot. Not that that freaks anybody out, but I can do that because she's close by, and I've got some stuff I've got to get for her. We got a great start to this day, though. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line also looking fantastic. For those of you probably like me, some of these folks here probably doing some last-minute shopping, especially as guys. Today's going to be a great day to do it. And not a bad start. Mid-upper 30s out there. Highs today, low to mid-60s. That south breeze, though, gusting upwards of 25 to 30 miles an hour, but sunny and great weather to get out there and enjoy it. We're going to have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's President's Day mattress sale is going on now.
They'd have also served in the Missouri National Guard with the military police. We are proud to salute Floyd Ellison, a four-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Pre-enrollment for Joplin School District kindergartners is now open. The district's kindergarten pre-enrollment opened Monday, and any child who will be 5 years old before August 1st and who lives within district boundaries is eligible for pre-enrollment. Parents must fill out online forms before bringing state-required documents to the school their child will attend. Joplin administrators say this process may seem overwhelming, but they're ready to help. Once the enrollment process is completed, parents will need to work with their school to schedule a kindergarten screening. The screenings will take place from March 25th to April 5th. And a proposal to censure a Carthage City Council member apparently wasn't on yesterday's council meeting. You might recall this Carthage City Council meeting drew a packed house last month when the council considered censuring member Tiffany Cossey. At the time, the council postponed taking action, saying the matter would be brought up at the next meeting. However, the issue was not on last night's agenda. City Administrator Greg Dagnon tells us that the council is working on a settlement in this issue. We contacted Cossey yesterday, and she tells us she is still waiting for more information. Yesterday, the Jasper Newton chapter of 100 Women Who Care donated $3,900 to Camp Childress. Camp Childress helps prepare for leadership through the character building. While the camp can use the funds, these particular funds will go to specific use. And since it was formed in 2018, the organization has donated more than $60,000 to local charities.
And we are looking at a pretty nice Valentine's Day. Highs, as you can see, mid-60s out there, maybe even some upper 60s for some of us. South wind again gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Now tonight, overnight especially, those winds pick up gusting upwards of 40, maybe even 45 miles an hour out of the south. So be aware of that. And we're milder tonight as well, falling back into the low to mid-40s. We're going to be a little cooler tomorrow, mid-50s. Then we could see some rain, maybe a brief wintry mix, some light snow on Friday morning. That shouldn't add up to too much and will clear out by about noon, 1 o'clock. We're colder, below average Friday and Saturday, and cool on Sunday, and we warm back up Monday and Tuesday.
Well, Rio's top samba schools performed during the second day of the Carnival Parade on Monday, closing the special group event.
The thousands witnessed the showcasing, a vibrant exhibition of handcrafted floats and costumes while performers danced and cheered their way through the iconic Samba Avenue. Later today, judges will announce their grades in 9 different categories and the 2024 Rio's Carnival winner. Rio's Sambadrome has been home to the parade since the 1980s and is a symbol of Brazil's Carnival festivities. And Carnival taking place in a way in Kansas City. And of course, Brock Baldridge, Ty Parks, both up there.
Noon today. Be there.
Today. Absolutely. We want to thank you all so much for letting us put the good into your morning.
And we'll see you today at noon.